10 best decks that I have or that I know of that are good for beginners. So what do you need? Are you overwhelmed with your choices? Let's go through the top 10 that I think are wonderful for beginners. Hey everybody, welcome. It's Donna with Northstar Tarot. We're going to start with the classic Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Rider-Waite-Smith to me is it's the structure I like best, and it's what I follow. Okay, I just love Rider-Waite-Smith. There's many different versions of this deck. This one is actually the one from 1909. So it's made by Arthur Edward Waite and illustrated by Pamela Colman Smith. Okay, there's a big story behind that as well, and I do have something on my channel that you can watch. I will pin it in the description. Okay, so this is a classic deck. It has everything that you need to learn tarot. Even if you don't like this deck, I suggest you have one. It is so versatile. It is the most published and most deck online. You can find out so much about this deck, more than any other deck. And there's so many other decks that are inspired by the Rider-Waite-Smith deck and follow the same structure as that. Okay, so let's look at a few of the cards. So we're just going to look at a few of the cards. The colors are wonderful. It's a beautiful deck. You want to take a look at everything about it. The foreground, the background, all of it. Okay, the numbers, everything. What are your feelings about it? And then read the books. There are some really good books and some not so good books. So do your homework. I don't know what video I have about books for beginners, but if I don't have one, I will get on that, okay? But yeah, there's all kinds of books and they're wonderful, okay? So this is the #1 Rider-Waite-Smith, okay? Now you have to wait to the 10th one to find out which deck I have, but I don't have with me and why, okay? So it's a wonderful deck for beginners, but it seems to be missing. Maybe you want to know what deck that is. That's the number 10 deck, okay? So this is #1. So #2, we have the Cozy Witch Tarot deck, okay? So I love this deck. This deck is really, really cute and it's easy to read with. These are all Rider-Waite-Smith inspired, okay? And this is by Amanda Lovelace. This has it has a little saying at the bottom, not keywords, but it gives you a little blurb about the card. Like this one, Ace of Pentacles. Wow, what an abundant opportunity. This one, King of Cups. Always compose yourself before giving a response, okay? So they all have a little blurb at the bottom. Beautiful pictures, very modern. It's very versatile. It's really good. I really, really like it. Again, Rider-Waite-Smith inspired. The back is really kind of cool with all the elements on it. Really good. Great deck, okay? So this is another one that I think you may want in your arsenal, right? So yeah, I just love it. So this one is the Cozy Witch Tarot, okay? So let me put this one away. And then, let's see, the #3 deck. And these are in no specific order except for the first one, okay? The Rider-Waite-Smith, I think you absolutely need one. Even if it's not your favorite, you should be familiar with it. I think it could really help you. You don't have to, but I suggest it, okay? So number 3 is the Light Seers Tarot. Absolutely love it. This is by Chris Ann. Bright, beautiful deck. I don't know too many readers that did not get this deck at some point. Whether they still have it or not, I'm not sure. But I think many of us purchased it, okay? So I'll show you some of the cards. It's the Hanged Man. It's just so great. It's just such a versatile deck. Beautiful, modern, lovely deck. The cards are thick. They're strong, they're sturdy cards. The deck is very modern. This is the Death card. It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, King of Wands or Knight of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups. So very, very traditional, very Rider-Waite-Smith inspired, wonderful deck, but perfect for beginners. I love it because my customers love it. My clients think it's a wonderful deck. It's beautiful. They can see things in it. They just think it doesn't scare anybody. They just think it's a wonderful deck, okay? So I do too. So that was then the third one. So that again is the Light Seers Tarot. The fourth one that I have here for you guys is the Witchling Academy Tarot. So this is a deck inspired by this young girl named Charlie. It's a storytelling tarot deck, okay? So it tells the story of her going to this witchy academy, okay? And I'll show you some of the cards. It's a really, really cute deck. It's young. It's modern. She has pink hair. And it's about her story, the people she encounters, and the things that she learns along the way, right? So it's a great deck. Easy to work with, easy to remember because there's a story attached. Storytelling can be wonderful to remember things. It's like people remember words to songs that they heard years and years ago, but they can't remember a certain lecture at school or something unless they were really interested in it, right? So it's just such a cute deck. And again, beginners. So, I mean, anybody uses, I use these decks all the time because my clients just absolutely love them. And I love them. So that was number 4. Number 5, we have the Witch's Tarot, okay? So here's the back, beautiful backs. I love the backs of these. And this is the Witch's Tarot. Again, it's a beautiful deck. Rider-Waite-Smith inspired. There's a few cards that are renamed, like this is called the Shadow Side. Instead of it being the Devil, it's called the Shadow Side, okay? But, I mean, it tells you what the card means. Knight of Cups. Go. Ace of Swords. Oops. Ace of Swords. And this deck is by Ellen Dugan, okay? Beautiful deck. So you have to kind of check them out, all right? And don't be afraid to buy your first deck. You can do that. There's no, it's a myth that you have to be gifted your first deck. Go out and buy your own deck. There'd be so many of us that never read tarot if we had to wait for someone to buy our first deck. I know I didn't. So that is the Witch's Tarot, okay? So number 6 Morgan Greer. So we have the Morgan Greer Tarot, and as you can tell, the box is pretty banged up. I use this deck a whole lot. Absolutely wonderful deck. Rider-Waite-Smith inspired again, and it is just absolutely wonderful. This is by Lloyd Morgan and illustrated by Bill Greer. Okay, so Morgan Greer. Wonderful deck. It's a classic. It's been around forever. This deck is simple, so it's more simplistic as far as the illustrations go, but still has a lot of symbolism, okay? Still has great meaning to it. You can dig deep, get into the colors, get into the way it makes you feel, get into the cards, how they work together. Yeah, so pay attention to all the details, and you will be able to pull so much out of this deck. I absolutely love it, okay? So again, this is the Morgan Greer. It's a wonderful deck. So this is our 6th deck, okay? So number 6. Don't know if I said that. So there's a few of them for you there. Okay, so that's Morgan Greer, number 6. So now we're going to go on to number 7, which is one of my favorite decks of all times. I do love Morgan Greer, but I do have one that I like more. This has been probably my favorite deck for a very, very long time. Yeah, just a wonderful deck. So this is Ciro Marchetti, the Divine Tarot. Okay, I love this deck. Here's the box, and I've had many copies because I go through them. And here are the fronts. So the illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. He does such a wonderful job on his decks. Just absolutely wonderful. And, you know, he's gone through phases where he says he's not going to produce any more decks, and then he does, and they're just all so wonderful. They're just absolutely beautiful, but this is my favorite. So I just absolutely love it. Rider-Waite-Smith inspired, so you can definitely read easily with this deck. The illustrations are beautiful, and I think it's a little more mystical, like more, yeah, not as straightforward as some of the other decks, okay? So yeah, just absolutely great. We're losing our son here. So yeah, just an absolute wonderful deck, okay? So that, again, the number 7 deck, the Divine Tarot, okay? It's called Legacy of the Divine Tarot. So wonderful, wonderful deck. So number 8, the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot by Ethony. Ethony is a fellow YouTuber. She's absolutely brilliant, and she has a number of decks, okay, that she's created. This is the back, and here is the front. So a beautiful deck. So I am losing the light. The sun is going down, but it went behind a cloud, so I didn't think I would lose it so fast. But it did go behind a cloud. Anyway, beautiful deck. Again, Rider-Waite inspired, and it follows the tradition of the Rider-Waite-Smith. I absolutely love it. Now, what she's done different, and I'm going to show you right now, is her book. She has taken it a step further. So not only do you get a little blurb of what it means, so this is the Chariot here, you have the upright kind of bullet points on what it means, the reverse bullet points on what it means, whether if it's upright, if it's a yes or no answer for that kind of question, or if it's reversed, does it give you a yes or no answer? But on this side, where it shows the picture of the card, is the symbolism, the main symbolism of each card and what it means to her. So this is a wonderful thing that you could do to any of your decks. I have started that with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck on my channel, but she's got the whole deck done. It is such a wonderful way to learn tarot and to learn about the deck you're using. It's absolutely a wonderful way to do that. So she's got the deck, the pages color-coded as well for each of the elements. So yeah, like the cups are blue. They're all light blue. The swords are like a gray. Green for the pentacles. And like a orangey for the wands, okay? Absolute wonderful, wonderful, wonderful deck. I highly recommend this for anybody, okay? It just gives you another perspective, and it is just so well done. I mean, lots of work went into this. Absolutely wonderful, okay? And the last deck, the one that has kind of lost its way somewhere, I must have taken it to an event, and it must be in a bag somewhere, because I love it for beginners. My clients love it. It is a wonderful deck. It is called the Good Karma Tarot. It's a bright yellow deck. The backs are yellow like that. Okay, so that's kind of like what the back looks like. It's a little bit of a bigger deck as well. Okay. So here are some of the cards. So these are the cards here. It's modern, it's bright, it's fun, it's gentle, nothing real edgy about it, but it does give good messages. So don't worry about that at all. But it is a wonderful deck. So just a great deck, okay? So I have to show you here because I can't find it. And I'm gonna have to do a search for sure because I absolutely love this deck. But I must have used it last time I went to a party or when I was going somewhere and did some readings. So I'll have to go dig it out. But this is my number 10. So these ones are the minor arcana, so the pictures are much smaller, but you still get a good idea of what they're all about, okay? So there you go. Again, her pages are color-coded as well. Absolute wonderful, wonderful beginner's deck. I absolutely love it based on the Rider-Waite-Smith system. I love the Rider-Waite-Smith system. I am a Rider-Waite-Smith girl to the end, and I've been reading for 50 years, and I just absolutely love it. So what I suggest, you get a little book, you get a little, you know, these are from the dollar store, paid $3 for this, and, you know, I did this with the Divine Tarot, Legacy of the Divine Tarot. I took each card and I wrote out some meanings of the card for me, okay? So you can do that. You can draw pictures, you can add colors, you can do whatever you want, okay? And it's like a little journal of the deck. So it's getting to know your deck. I will do a video on some, they call it interviewing your deck. So I will do a video on interviewing your new decks as you get them. And it really helps you to get to know your deck and see how you fit with it, okay? So this is a really good idea. So if you want to do that, you go right ahead, okay? There is no right or no wrong, and there is no right deck or a wrong deck. The decks I chose here for beginners are just my choices. Everybody would have different choices, absolutely 100% for sure, and no one's right and no one's wrong. Follow your intuition. If you're drawn to a deck, there's a reason you're drawn to it, and you might want to explore that deck in more depth, okay? I do, however, suggest you get a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and you at least have a look at it, because there is so much information online about it. It's classic. So many decks are based on that system. It's just a good to know thing, okay? So that is my my rendition of the 10 top beginner decks. You have a wonderful day. Be brave, be strong, and love endlessly, everybody. Take care. We'll see you again soon.